And welcome back to Icarus, our weekly patch notes update on Friday. I'm here with Carl, so I'm gonna swap over to Discord. Hey Carl, how you doing?
Bit tired, it was a long week, but otherwise good. And yourself?
Doing not too bad. It's weekend, so Icarus time, eh? Time for the patch notes, time for gameplay.
Wow, that makes one of us, because as usual, there's a 4 gig update waiting for this. I don't know assault rifles were that big of a patch, but it's going to take me an hour to update, so I'll probably skip the initial gameplay and join you possibly later if it
Well,
finishes anytime whilst I'm alive. So,
that's the reason why I leave my PC running and have update Icarus in the background as soon as the update comes out.
that makes one of us. So, but regardless, that's my problem, so let's have a look at the patch notes, shall we?
Sure. So, we're at week 155. Light automatic carbine. Not assault rifle, they changed it to carbine.
Yeah, yeah, assault rifle is a very uh, poorly used term, I think. So,
Well, initially it was
automatic carbine is,
it was an assault rifle and it used
yeah,
the rifle rounds. However, it was a bit too powerful, so they changed it to the carbine and made it so it uses pistol rounds.
okay. So it's going, yeah, because it's as I was wanting to test whether or not I would have the increased damage from the rifle talents, but
It's gonna be pistol ammo.
yeah. So I don't think there is a damage pistol talent. There's only for rifle and for bows, I
Actually,
think.
in the guns there is a separate part for rifles, separate part for shotguns, and a separate part for pistols. So there
Oh,
might
okay.
actually be something for extra damage with pistols. I don't know.
Alright, might be good to check it whether or not it works, but it depends on how many respec points I have, and I have none. But we'll get to that later. But that seems interesting that they've changed it. But let's see what the reasons why.
Yep. So we are at week 155, light automatic carbine. Go big with the new 20-round light automatic carbine. Now this new light automatic carbine is the newest firearm in our series, which started with a flamethrower. So welcome to week 155 already. Almost 3 years. So this week is all things firepower as we add the first automatic weapon to Icarus, the light automatic carbine. This one packs a punch with a 20 round magazine using small caliber ammo, pistol ammo. We've also got some details about our 3-year anniversary celebrations next week and how you can share some virtual cake with us. So let's jump in and let's have a read. Couple of notable improvements. The basic fertilizer can now be crafted on the chemistry bench. So craft manually instead of next to, I should say, have it automatically crafted in the wood composter. The
Interesting. So what would need manual crafting? So it's just you could then just put the ingredients and then manually craft them, so you
yeah,
don't have to wait forever.
yeah,
Okay.
so probably a bit faster crafting.
Yeah, which means more gunpowder.
If you have the talent to turn fertilizer into gunpowder, yes. Well, on the other hand, I usually drop a lot of spot plants in the wood composter and top it up with dirt and let it just
Yeah.
run in the background.
Yeah. True. True.
I mean, every fertilizer is good for 10 gunpowder, so every 10 fertilizer is a stack of gunpowder already. So, for me,
Yeah.
it's going fast enough, but if you're in a pinch and you need a lot of gunpowder fast, you can do it in the chemistry bench. Crafting the fertilizer,
Sure.
that is. Then the material
Yes.
processor, for example, or the mortar and pestle for the gunpowder. Ashland side quests have been updated, so the NPCs and the trucks will attempt to spawn on reload if they have accidentally been removed as part of the quest cleanup steps. So once you've started the quest, and if you like in the quest finishing the quest, it automatically cleans up the truck and the NPCs accidentally. They will be respawning the next time you reload the prospect. Meaning this is now a permanent base in the Ashlands.
Nice.
Doubled the range at which chickens look for a nearby coop to automatically place eggs after laying. Increase the range from 10 to 20 meters. So before, if the chicken was too far away from the coop, more than 10 meters away, it was like, I can't find a coop, I'm just gonna drop the egg on the ground.
Yes, which is common sense for any animal.
Or what, something which I've also seen happening, they lay it in a food trough.
Which also makes a little bit sense.
Hey, at least it was easier, so you didn't have to like run around the terrain to find the eggs. But now
True.
the range is towards the coop is 20 meters. So if they are within 20 meters of the coop, they will lay their eggs in there.
Makes sense.
The advantage is obviously eggs in the coop have a slower spoil rate.
Doesn't make sense, but okay.
At least it's not out in the open no more.
Exactly. But yeah, increasing range, simple.
And they removed the Ice Mammoth Great Hunt arena entrance from Prometheus. Congrats to those who found it.
Nice.
So
I don't
apparently
think I
they
found it.
nope, me neither. I haven't played Prometheus a whole lot after I finished the Ashlands quests, the missions. After I finished those, I went back to Olympus, but apparently the Great Hunt, the Ice Mammoth Great Hunt arena entrance was in Prometheus, accidentally.
I don't think it would be accidentally. It might have been.
Not feature locked or something.
Well, you didn't probably go into it. It was probably just like a monument of some sort, stating that would be like a point. Or it just looks, it stands out, so it looks cool, and then it's just a cool little Easter egg until yeah they removed it.
I
So
have no idea. I haven't seen any images on Discord either, so I don't know. Anyway, this week, the light automatic carbine. The odds have been flipped. The light automatic carbine has been added to Icarus, and it is unlockable and craftable at tier 4 on the fabricator. Now this automatic firearm has a magazine consisting of 20 rounds and uses the small caliber ammo, pistol ammo. Because it's automatic, however, plan to carry more reserves than you would for a single fire pistol. Yeah, it's gonna burn through your ammo quite quickly, I reckon.
it's gonna be pricey, because even pistol ammo is not cheap to make, considering that was one of my gripes when they released the
The turrets.
workshop pistol
And then when
and the
they
turret,
release the turrets,
realistically.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's okay. We'll
Yeah,
just
should be
make
seen.
a bunch of pistol ammo.
It's it's definitely going to be stronger though. It's definitely going to outclass the shotgun most likely and the rifle. So depends on how fast it fires though. When it says automatic, you know, you've got different tiers of automatic. So
Well, it doesn't say it's a semi-automatic, so it won't be a single
no,
shot.
it's full automatic, but there's a difference between an MP5 and a P90 kind
True,
of
true,
you know, or an Uzi or you know,
true.
a modified Glock. So you got all these kind of differences of automatic, depends on fire rate. So it'll be interesting to see how quick you could dump a mag,
And
because depending
interesting
on
to
how quick.
see the recoil.
Well, yeah, that's also true, but I don't think that should be an issue. But to dump a mag like 20 bullets within the span of like 2 seconds or 3 seconds would be a pretty good amount of damage downrange in that time. So it should be interesting.
But we will test this, obviously. We'll test this, no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Now, as stated last week, this is the second in a series of new weapon types, the first being the flamethrower, that were introduced before adding some unique foes and events that will require the extra punch. Meaning we going to get harder enemies, harder events.
Well, I would imagine a
That
big
means more
ape
challenge, so
swinging. I would imagine from what we've read in regards to all of the, future content and
yeah.
things related to apes and mammoths and things and other things
Rock
that,
golems with armor and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it sounds like it. So we'll see.
Yeah. I am gonna like the extra challenge though.
Yeah,
So message from Jake Dudunsky, the project lead. As you would have seen last week, we mentioned that this week we're going to be releasing an assault rifle. Now, when we first designed this weapon, it was going to be that, an automatic rifle. During the testing phase, we found that using the rifle ammo made this weapon way too powerful, even for where it sat in tier 4. We decided to test with a pistol, a small caliber ammo. It felt a lot better, still providing the damage to sit at tier 4, but much more in line of where we wanted it to be. So we decided to commit to this, and to help avoid confusion we renamed the weapon the Light Automatic Carbine, removing rifle from the name and having the description state that it uses pistol ammo. This leaves room for a true assault rifle in the future too.
true.
So, not an assault rifle at this very moment, but it might still be there in the future.
Could also be like could have been in SMG, but yeah, it's makes sense.
So next week, Icarus 3-year anniversary. 3 years already. Can you imagine? Like I've been playing Icarus for 3 years non-stop.
Depends on the game, but there are some games which I played for close to a decade or more. So
Mm.
yeah, it's still a young game. 3 years ain't much, considering
True,
the
true.
lifespan of certain things. A lot of things have changed, but it's definitely a milestone to reach.
A
So
lot has been added in these 3 years as well. And
indeed,
the change from real time to game time, the introduction of open world, dedicated servers, mounts, all this kind of, all this good stuff.
yeah, yeah, exactly. There's a lot of changes, but there's obviously you know, it's 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 still a future. Well, the game doesn't end after 3 or 6 or 10 years. It depends realistically, but yeah,
Well, this game is very replayable.
um, yeah, that's always open for interpretation, but it's
As
definitely
in, I finished all the missions. Have I finished the game? No, I can easily create a new character with a new talent set and specialize in a different way, go another route. Also, just playing for playing, make stupid big builds. Why not?
yeah, I mean, Minecraft, for example, is a similar game where there's a very simple design, but people would spend tons of time building intricate, mansions and forts and castles or dungeons, and obviously there are some bosses involved, which is where people would also work towards, and it's always about having some form of a goal. And yeah, with them implementing new items and new missions and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, obviously they focused on the building component as well. So there's definitely as they add more textures into it and add more decorations, which I was very thoroughly pleased with the paintings the last session you might have noticed. So
yep, I
it's
did.
definitely so there's definitely a lot of things that they have done. So yeah, it's definitely got replayability in mind, but it is always a personal kind of choice whether or not, especially as
Oh,
they're
true,
also
true.
focusing more towards narrative stuff, and if they add in towards, choices making a difference in regards to, storylines or missions, especially if you had the type of idea of once again, focusing on loyalty points towards a certain faction. So if you did missions for a certain faction where it gained more control over the planet and then basically, kicked off the smaller ones and, if you added also, well, no, I mean, that's probably never going to happen, but you could do many things
Yeah,
to the game itself
maybe
and
in the
to the story
future, who
development.
knows?
Yeah. I know that certain games, if I'm not mistaken, even had a type of system where based upon voting uh, the game would, well, obviously, if you take a look at a very popular game, which was Helldivers, where the game has just got like one guy that's obviously, I don't know if his name is Steve, but some person that basically controls where the aliens or which planets get invaded, and then the player base decide which to save, and that's basically like a story driven by the player's actions, same to as like EVE Online or anything like that, which is the players, the structure or based upon their actions of which shape and move the game forward, which does, create a unique experience. So yeah, we'll see.
True, true. But even like the S lines is way more story driven. Prometheus is already a bit story driven, the mission line.
But they did mention that
S
they're focusing
lines,
on
the,
it.
the North Sector definitely, and the new one is going to
Mm.
be more storyline driven as well. However,
They're
even if you have finished all the missions in Prometheus, there is still you can still keep playing on your open world, or you play it again and then you go with a different loadout or whatever. And you know, I like the PvE aspect of the game. No PvP griping, just PvE. I love it a lot.
Yes, indeed. But what about this
Uh,
cake?
So next week we are celebrating Icarus's third anniversary, a milestone we're absolutely chuffed to reach with you all. It has been a long journey and we have fixed, altered, adjusted and added a lot over the years. We're doing a full day live stream with a bunch of different developers from all the different teams starting at 10 a.m. New Zealand time. They didn't specify the date though.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, you were saying?
No, I said that's a little bit of a thing that needs to be corrected.
Yep. I mean, you can keep an eye on the Icarus Discord server. They have a channel there for where they announce the live streams. But
Yeah.
yeah, a full day. I wonder will it be a 12-hour or a 24-hour stream, and will it be like one continuous stream? Yeah, with people taking turns. We'll see. Now we will also be adding cake to the game, so you can eat and be merry with us, even if we can't send you a slice of the real one. And you have the nice cake in the image underneath. This has been in, I believe, in future content for the patch notes a couple of weeks ago. You can place a cake on a table and you can take slices and you can eat them slices. So we can do next week. We can do a proper celebration. Eat a couple of slices of cake.
Indeed.
Now your support makes these updates possible, and it's listing the Icarus Pets bundle, which gives you the extra food and water troughs, extra saddles, with some nice perks like extra speed or extra armor, extra melee protection. The Pet Companions pack, which gives you a couple of extra dogs and cat models. And the Zebra Rescue Mission, the only way to get zebras as a mount. No discounts, so 23.66 euro. Or the complete set, the dynamic bundle, like everything you don't have yet, with the price going up to 147 euro 34 cents. But then you will have like everything. Now, if you wanna support the team, and you say, hey folks, you're doing a good job, please keep going. I want to support you. You can buy some of the DLCs or all of the DLCs, and by doing so, support the team so they can continue improving the game. Anyway, new content, basically the light automatic carbine. The out of sync hands and gun during first person reload animation has been fixed. Added remainder of lab equipment meshes along with animations. Lab equipment, not sure what you mean there.
Could have been some mission-based things in the null sector. I don't know. I would imagine you should be researching and building things to progress the storyline, but I haven't played that part at all, so I presume that could be something. But
Does not really ring a bell, mission related. So, firearm camera shake intensity has been reduced in third person mode and slightly increased the ADS camera shake when firing the assault rifle. So you get a bit of the recoil.
mhm.
Then we go to fixes. Allow basic fertilizer to be crafted in a chemistry bench, as mentioned above. Is listed under fixes instead of new content, which is interesting, but okay. Update animal carrying stat to just say carrying stat. Update talent for animal carcass carrying to correctly say carcasses, so dead animals. Excellent side quest updated, so NPCs and trucks will attempt to spawn and reload, etc. Talked about before. Fixed build failure. Not something we see. Well, actually, we see the fact that it has been fixed. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had a new build, an update. There was a bug if you wanted to bring mounts down from the space station where they did not display the correct image. That has now been fixed. Wall torch has been added to the machining bench and the fabricator. It was already on the carpentry bench, but it's actually something I was wondering myself
Yeah,
as well. Hey, it's on the crafting bench, not on
no,
the
I
machining
remember
bench or fabricator, but then it was on the carpentry bench.
you saw that last time because you wanted to make some.
Yeah.
So
So they've changed it now. The wall torches are now also in the machining bench and the fabricator. Double the range at which chickens look for nearby coop. We've talked about. Remove the unreachable modifier that was automatically applied to chicken coops when placed off navigatable terrain. This modifier is not as necessary anymore. Now the chickens don't have to walk into coops to lay eggs. It was a tad confusing, like unreachable, yet the eggs aren't going in there. Chickens will still walk into the coop though if there is pathing going to it. But they don't
well,
need to be able to reach the coop in order to lay eggs in it.
chickens can get to certain places quite easily because they are of a bird variety, so therefore they have these attachments to them which have feathers which when moved in rapid movements
Where they
they will
improve the vertical traversal, I know.
yes, exactly, and they are able to therefore gain access to most locations which other creatures cannot. So yeah,
Well,
would make sense that they would
when
just
they
automatically dump eggs if it wasn't normally reachable, for example.
when
It's
they
not completely.
introduced coops, uh, coops have a little set of stairs going down, so chickens can walk up the stairs. If you place it such that there was even the tiniest slit between the ground and the stairs, chickens couldn't get into the coop, and they couldn't lay eggs in the coop either.
Mm.
Uh, Chickens also had an issue; they could not walk upstairs. Very odd, but they couldn't. The same, by the way, you have currently with, for example, the cows. They can't walk
Well,
upstairs either.
it's quite common. Why do you think chickens don't fly? It's because they're afraid of heights, and therefore, if they have to go upstairs, that's a certain amount of height. So no, obviously they don't. It's just common sense.
Well, at least they don't have to reach a coop anymore to lay the eggs in it, so that's good.
True.
But it is a tad annoying. I had it with my cow on my Olympus open world. I have the pen on top of the base. So I got a calf, carried the box upstairs in the pen, opened the box, claimed the calf. Then when it was an adult, I claimed the cow. And then it's automatically set to follow. Then I went downstairs, and all of a sudden the cow was downstairs as well. And I was like, oops, I'm gonna get you back up. So I had to bring it a bit away from base, build a wall so it couldn't follow me, and then quickly run towards the coop and let it teleport to me in the pen. Was a tad annoying. I hope they're gonna fix that soon as well, but we'll see.
True.
Anyway, fix a few typos in item descriptions. Don't hide the version number or user interface element in the editor as it now contains other relevant info. Well, it's the editor, we don't use the editor, something for the devs, I reckon. But
Yep, and that's the end of the fixes.
yeah.
Moving on to feature content.
Yeah.
So let's see
There
what's
is
available.
there's one thing I'm missing, which I have read somewhere. So there was this talent for the cow, where the talent description said something about wool,
Yeah.
but the talent points itself was for, I don't know, producing milk quicker or something to that extent.
Yes.
I've seen in Discord the preview of Patchnotes, or at least like the description for, I believe for the experimental branch, where they said that they had fixed that, but it isn't stated in the Patchnotes here. So when we
Well,
are in the
have you
game,
checked?
I'll have a look at talent
Yeah,
side.
exactly. Might be a reason why it's not mentioned, but it is something to check.
Oh,
So good. And let's see what the feature content has in store. So, temporary swamp ape arena has been created, so they're carrying on development, which is good. All is good.
yep.
Let's see here, some more farming, fencing, and all these types of things. And they did mention the barn doors, so they're getting probably ready to
Barn
create
door was
the.
mentioned last week, right?
That's what I told you. So they're probably, so he says gate and farm and wood and fence and farm. So farm things, farm building things. So yes, it makes sense. So it's all good.
They
Let's
worked on
see.
the rock
So
golem. It's now resistant to damage when it still has armor, but when it has it has armor, it takes 10 times damage from pickaxes.
yeah, that sounds very familiar.
Yeah, rock golem in Valheim.
Exactly. Let's see. Earthquake screen shake yet again. That's just immersion things. Cake icon and pieces. It says things that they mentioned. Um,
New heavy slam attack for the rock golem.
it was already mentioned, I think. So it's probably they're just probably working on refining the animations and the damages, and the same with the mammoth kicking up ice shards and all these things, and probably the ape throwing certain excrement, perhaps. You never know. So
That would be nice.
it would be pretty funny.
Should give
So
you
and
the
then there's
miasmic modifier then, yes.
that would be, yes, it should. Yes, that's a good point. And it should, like, give like a little bit of a gas once it hits the ground. It should actually be like a noxious kind of thing that gives you an upset stomach that makes you vomit. And obviously that's like you lose your
And
buffs.
yeah, and then
Sounds
or
sounds
lose your
good.
buffs, slow you down, all that kind of
Yep,
stuff.
yep. Dehydrate you, all those types of thing. And then yeah, that sounds about right.
Some
Yeah.
more info on the pods. Stop transport pods from damaging buildings when they landing on landing pads.
Oh yeah,
Also
putting like
greatly
landing on top of
reduced
the base.
knockback and damage to
Mm.
players.
Yeah, probably. It makes sense because it's going to be probably placed on top of people's bases rather outside and away from it, which also makes
Or
sense.
right
So
next to it.
it's
So yeah,
yeah.
please give us those pads so the pods don't land next to the base and damage half the base upon take off.
And then people put it right on top of their base. Yes,
Well,
that's how it's going to work.
as long as the landing pad prevents
But that's
prevents
what they're
damage.
saying over here. That's what they're saying. But
Exactly.
making it so that it doesn't. But I would still say, yeah, look, there's a consequence to you putting a rocket pad on top of your building. So suck it up or move it out to where it's supposed to be. So it's more of a controlled area.
The next
But
one
I
is
understand less damage than just,
also interesting. Added initial functionality for the player pod to not damage while landing on landing pads.
Yeah, but you already mentioned that
Now, this
maybe if
is
you.
the pod taking damage.
Yes.
I'm not talking about damage to the buildings. I'm talking about damage to the pod or to the dropship.
Oh, okay. That's a fair point.
Added functionality for player pod to not damage, to not take damage, not be damaged while landing on a landing pad.
Mm-mm.
Let's see. Adding take a piece of cake audio. A rock golem can no longer be sneak attacked or kill camped. Okay. You know,
Interesting.
the kill
Yeah.
cam has this damage multiplier.
Well, the kill cam doesn't usually, but usually getting a stealth crit hit
If
does a lot of
you
damage.
if you get a kill cam, the projectile with which you hit the animal, it gets a damage multiplier to kinda guarantee death on impact.
Okay.
However, if there's a high level animal, it can happen that you get a kill cam, but not entirely killing the animal,
Ah.
not entirely killing
Oh
your
yeah.
target.
Yeah.
It's rare, but it does happen occasionally.
Hmm.
So no kill cam on a rock golem means not the big damage multiplier anymore. Also the sneak attack indeed, like attack from stealth, take 20% extra damage or something, doesn't work on the rock
Well,
golem no more.
first shot should work because getting shot in the head with an armor-piercing assault rifle round or or a normal rifle round would be a good idea to get at least the first chunk of damage done up front before, carrying on of the fight, which is one of the main reasons that rifles, that's like the one advantage you have with single shot weapons versus slug shooting, sprayed explosive, multi-shooting, fast firing kind of weapons. So
True,
there's
true.
always a trade-off. But regardless, it's fine. Um,
There's basically lore entries for Gargantuan, Rhyme Tusk, Quarite, and Hammerhead. Hammerhead is a slug, right?
no, it's usually, well, it could be, but yeah, hammerheads are usually
Hammerhead
sharks
slug.
and whatnot.
Yeah, but Hammerhead
Yeah,
slug has
yeah,
been
yeah.
mentioned multiple times in the patch notes.
Yeah, so this is just the names of the creatures, yeah.
Quarite? Is that going to be the rock golem?
Yeah, could be. Yeah, I would say so.
Rhyme Tusk might be the ice mammoth then? Gargantuan could be the ape?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Hmm.
Mm,
Restricted great hunt selection by terrain. Huh? So you have the great hunt device, and based on where you place it, you get a different great hunt selection? I don't know.
can't really summon the ice mammoth boss in the volcanic biome, so
Depends on how it's gonna work. Is it gonna come in your current world? Or
we'll see.
are you going to an arena?
Mhm.
In which case it doesn't matter. Not
I
that
like the
much.
next one. I like the next one better though, or like one of the next ones, which is added special resources. Super cooled ice, the geysers, wood veins. So mostly just blah blah blah. But the it says special resource. So if you do get I mean, I think the geysers give you the enzyme stuffies.
Yeah, condensed enzymes.
Yeah, and
You
obviously
can
the
also put
encapsulated sugar.
a ice borer on an enzyme geyser, not an ice borer, a water borer, and then it's a water source.
Hmm.
Great if you're in a desert, you're not near any source of water, but you do have an enzyme geyser. You
Hmm.
can still get water there. Wood veins is the frozen wood. This is
Oh
the
yeah,
null
yeah.
sector ice sheet. So this must
Indeed.
be Prometheus then.
Yep, indeed.
Super cold ice. Is that a Prometheus
Yeah,
specific resource or not?
don't know.
Don't recall whether or not. I don't know. I'd have to check on Olympus whether or not I can make like Styx or Prometheus or Olympus. The super cooled ice. I don't know whether or not it has the Prometheus only icon thingy top left of the
Well, we'll
image.
see. I was just mentioning that it was cool that it says special resources, so they're
Yeah.
just mentioning that there's either going to be something special about them, either new or it's not. But moving on then, so we have more meshes, more textures, rock throw, rock dolls of the great ape. Like I said, all these things aren't new things, pretty much been discussed before. Obviously, rock
Increasing
golem,
distance and volume of rock golem final death call.
that's just immersion things, which
Oh
makes
yeah.
sense. So
Immersion is
things
important.
exactly.
Fix the
Well, it proves
respawn
one,
pod
but
allowing you to leave in midair. Okay. So you're not at the ground yet, but you're already like exiting your pod. And then you fall to your death.
yeah, yeah, that's pretty bad actually. Yeah, I would imagine that to be fixed. Yeah, that's
So
sounds
I'm
pretty
glad I fixed that.
well. It's if you wanted to open the hatch halfway down, it allowed you to. So look, it's your own decision. So
True.
don't
But
ask me.
still.
Don't don't. Certain people need to win the Darwin Award and save the rest of us from them. That sounds good
This
to
is
me.
true. This is true.
So yeah, I'll open the hatch whilst the rocket is entering the atmosphere. It's great. Do it. It's your decision. So I don't know why they fix it because that sounds pretty cool. Why they would leave it. That sounds brilliant. That sounds great. Yeah, the developer that put that in. Props to you,
Uh,
dude.
actually, you put an Steam achievement in Darwin Award. Leave your
There you
respawn pod
go. Yeah,
halfway.
yeah. Like whilst you're entering the atmosphere, it's like what does this button do? It says open to emergency latch exits. It's like, oh, I don't know what that's gonna do. It might give me cookies. It'll give me cookies if I pull this lever. So yeah, congratulations.
Man,
But
wouldn't
then,
it be fun, such Steam achievement Darwin Award?
yeah, well, like I said, most games should have it. I mean, it's some silly people. Although given the option to press X whilst going down, it's like if you're not paying attention, you like, oh, what does that do? Press X. It's like yeah, you eject. So yeah,
A big red button with a label "Don't press."
yeah, you
What
never know.
happens if I press this?
Exactly. But then everything else sort of seems
Uh,
arbitrary. Swamp
Setting up
liquid, ape.
silo item for homestead and quilted bed for homestead.
Yeah, the homestead
Silo
is.
allows food and plants to be placed inside and crafted
Mm,
masonry bench, so that it would indicate some kind of stone silo item.
mm, mm.
Is it gonna be like slow spoil or I don't know?
Don't know. We'll sort of see. It might just be an attachment to the whole farming thing
I
because
know
we've got
there
the
is a
off.
mission called Homestead.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Are they adding new stuff for this mission?
Could
Maybe.
be.
I don't know.
Could be.
The quilted bed crafted at carpentry bench. So it would be the carved wood series.
Oh, oh.
The carved wood series of furniture is in the masonry, is in the carpentry bench. The rest is in the decorations bench.
And then you get a great ape corpse as a reward. Sounds perfect. I always wanted one of those. And then minimap and den removals, which have been mentioned many
Outpost
times before.
009.
Yeah. So it's pretty much what it is. But you have the assault rifle to go test. So
Yep.
that's
We're
about it,
gonna
I
test it
think.
in my main Prometheus open world because I have tons and tons of resources there anyway.
You were talking about needing to have, lots of firepower to survive this very difficult mission, which we're
Yeah,
waiting
but
on
question
Echo.
is,
So
do we have the resources already on our co-op open world? I have no
yeah, it
idea
should be
what
on.
this is gonna cost to make the assault. The light is automatic light carbine.
Yeah, well, we could work towards it quickly. We've got 2 players. There should be a fair amount of titanium. There might be more necessary. I would imagine like 40 titanium things necessary. So
But
not bars, but
let's
we
do
can
it.
also just go to the open world. Yeah, I mean
Let's do
your
that on
main map.
Monday on our co-op
Yeah,
open world, and let's now go to our to my main open world.
let's do that. So I'll
Okay.
see you online.
So we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be back in 12-13 minutes, half past. So, thanks for being here. I hope you find it useful as going through the patch notes so you don't have to. We'll be back in a new stream in 12 minutes, half past, and we'll test out this night a new light automatic carbine. So thanks for being here, and hope I'll see you folks around.